Wind down with today's top tech stories. This is the Daily Byte. Claude just did something ChatGPT probably didn't see coming. Anthropic's AI assistant hit #1 in the US App Store, actually dethroning ChatGPT from the top spot. This happened over the weekend, right after OpenAI announced a partnership with the Pentagon. Turns out, a lot of users aren't thrilled about their AI helping with military applications. Meanwhile, Anthropic took the opposite approach. They straight up refused to work with the Pentagon and got blacklisted for it. The result? Users are voting with their downloads, and Claude's now wearing the crown. In a bit of irony, right after hitting #1 in the App Store, Claude went down. Monday morning, thousands of users reported they couldn't access Claude services at all. Anthropic confirmed widespread disruptions, and for several hours, their shiny new #1 app was, well, not working. The outage has since been resolved, but talk about unfortunate timing. Now let's take a closer look at that first story, because this is about way more than app rankings. Claude overtaking ChatGPT represents a potential turning point in how users think about AI ethics. For years, OpenAI positioned itself as the responsible AI company, literally has it in the name. But this Pentagon partnership has created a trust crisis. Users are asking, if my conversations are training an AI that might be used for military purposes, what does that mean for me? Anthropic saw an opening and took a principled stand, even knowing it would get them blacklisted from government contracts. That's a massive financial sacrifice. Government deals are incredibly lucrative, but the gamble appears to be paying off. This shift reflects a broader trend where consumers are increasingly making choices based on corporate ethics, not just product quality. And here's what makes this fascinating. Both Claude and ChatGPT are excellent products. The technology isn't the differentiator anymore. It's values. The question for OpenAI now is whether this is a temporary exodus or the start of a longer-term problem. Can they win back users who feel betrayed? Or has Anthropic found a sustainable competitive advantage by positioning itself as the ethical alternative? We're watching the AI market potentially split into camps, those who prioritize capability and those who prioritize principles, and it's not clear yet which side will win in the long run. Meta is testing a shopping research tool inside its AI chatbot, and this is a direct shot at ChatGPT and Gemini. Both OpenAI and Google already have shopping features in their AI assistants, and Meta's obviously not trying to get left behind. The feature's still in testing, so we don't have all the details yet, but it's clear that AI shopping assistants are becoming the next battleground. Every major tech company wants to be your personal shopping advisor, apparently. Here's a sobering reality check for the AI industry. A new report reveals that 90% of expert work, the really specialized human knowledge, can't be verified by today's AI training methods. And it gets worse. About 90% of AI proof-of-concept projects fail to make it from the experimental phase to actually being useful in the real world. The bottleneck? We just don't have good ways to source, recruit, and validate expert knowledge at the scale AI needs. It's like trying to teach a student when you can't verify if the teacher actually knows what they're talking about. In genuinely amazing medical news, researchers just completed the first ever human trial of in utero stem cell therapy for spina bifida, and it's safe. 6 participants went through the treatment with 0 safety concerns, no infections, no spinal fluid leaks, no abnormal tissue growth, nothing. This is phase 1, so we're still early, but treating spina bifida before a baby is even born could be absolutely life-changing. The fact that the stem cells cause no adverse effects is huge for moving this forward. Apple just launched the iPhone 17e, and honestly, the specs are pretty impressive for a budget device. We're talking the A19 chip, full MagSafe support, and here's the kicker, 256 gigabytes of base storage for just $599. That's double the storage most budget phones offer at that price point. You can grab it in black, white, or soft pink with a 512 gigabyte option if you need more room. At $24.95 a month, Apple's clearly going after people who want flagship features without the flagship price tag. Let's take a closer look at that iPhone 17e, because Apple's strategy here is more interesting than it might seem at first glance. For years, Apple's budget phones have felt like compromises, devices that were clearly stripped down to hit a price point. With the 17E, it's different. By including the A19 chip, Apple's giving this phone real processing power, not some outdated processor from 3 generations ago. The MagSafe inclusion is equally telling. It means you can use the entire ecosystem of MagSafe accessories without buying a Pro model. But here's what really matters, that 256GB base storage. Most people don't realize how much 128GB phones have held back the smartphone experience. You're constantly managing storage, deleting photos, worried about updates. At $590, Apple's not just competing with mid-range Android phones, they're fundamentally changing what people should expect from a budget device. This could pressure Samsung, Google, and others to seriously upgrade their mid-tier offerings. And that $24.95 monthly payment, that's strategic genius. It's less than most streaming service bundles, making it feel accessible to a much wider audience. If the 7E sells well, and I think it will, we might look back at this as the moment Apple decided to truly compete in the mass market, not just the premium segment. So what do you think about this format? Are there other categories you'd like me to cover? Let me know in the comments. If you found this briefing helpful, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss the Daily Byte. I'll be back tomorrow with more stories you may have missed. Thanks for listening.